Hi guys, my name is Gundeep.
Hi, I'm Gaganvi.
So we are here with another video talking only about IELTS speaking. We are going to share our tips and tricks, what worked for us, and going to discuss in brief about how the speaking test happens, what it comprises of, and at the end we are going to share some tips and tricks as well.
And yeah, the most important thing, those 10 idioms which will help you score to
Yes.
score a band 7 and above. Yeah.
All right, let's start. So the first part for speaking is you have to the examiner is going to greet you, make you comfortable. You'll be sitting in a chair. She or he will ask you for your identification, your passport. That is the first step. So make sure your body language is calm. You're looking confident. You are looking eye to eye. You are not looking here there in the room.
Yeah. And occupy the complete chair. Don't sit like
Yeah.
a cat on the chair, just be in the center of
Just
the
be
chair.
on the edge. Don't be on the
Yeah.
edge. Sit comfortably.
Yeah.
Make yourself relax. Breathe in, breathe out. Get ready for your, rock and
Yeah.
roll test.
Because examiner will definitely ask you, can we start?
Yeah. So now the second part of the test is going to be the general introduction, where examiner is going to ask you about your work, the place where you belong to, if you are studying, what subjects you study, which subjects you like.
And if you are working, so they may ask you regarding your job, what kind of work it is, and how's your workplace, and how are the people around, etc.
And for this, there's one tip I like to give here is don't give a short answer. Speak more than your examiner. For example, if they ask you, do you like mathematics? You don't have to say, no, I don't like mathematics. You have to say, a few words about why don't you like it. There's
Yeah.
a science subject which I
There
really
should be a
like.
specific reason if you are liking or disliking something. And another important thing, be optimistic.
Be optimistic.
Don't answer much of the questions in no. Even if you want to say no, say it sarcastically. Okay, I don't like mathematics now, but there was a time when I used to like it, and now as I don't use it much, so I don't like it.
All right, moving to the third part.
Yeah, that's the most important part. And that part is where the examiner will ask you. Actually, he won't ask you, he'll give you a topic, and you'll have 1 minute to make notes for it, and then you have to speak on it for 2 to 3 minutes.
So use that 1 minute very wisely. You don't need to be completely honest, right? On topic 3, whatever has happened to you or what is the actual facts you have to present to them. No, cook a story. If you have seen somewhere, you have seen a movie about it, your friends have shared the story on that. Speak something,
Yeah,
right?
so I'll share my personal experience now that I got a topic which was very boring and which was not at all related to me. It was, which plant or tree do you like? Why you like it? When did you see it for the first time? And you have to explain what are the benefits of that plant or tree. So I have never planted a small pod also in my whole life. But
And in that moment,
Yeah.
you can't even think about, okay, what was the plant, what is the name of the plant, yeah, where I saw it. So in that moment, you can't recall everything,
Yeah.
right? It's just 1 minute. So cook up a story.
And
So,
it's like you don't have to speak regarding a single plant. Mind it.
yeah.
You can speak about 2 plants, 3 plants. It's
So,
just that you
it will
have.
increase the time
Yeah.
that you get to speak. So I like to talk about 3 plants, plant 1, 2, 3. So it'll like occupy about 30 to 40 seconds.
Yeah.
You're talking about 3 plants. Then coming to the next
Just
question.
because if you keep on talking about one plant, then everything will end up in
Yeah.
30 to 40 seconds and you will be short of words.
Right.
Yeah, so this is all about the. I'm so sorry, there was a call.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So next is the fourth part. So in fourth part, examiner is going to discuss more, ask you more questions on what you have said in the third part. So this is
Yeah.
a bit tricky. They might go into depth of, if the topic is about plants or about subject or something, they'll go into depth, like real depth, and make you answer a lot of unexpected questions there.
Yeah, but you have to be confident. You don't have to be honest again, and you have to make sure that whatever you are answering, you should be grammatically correct. And you should answer them in a very confident way. Even if you're lying, then also you have to be smart.
Yeah,
Okay, you
it's
have to be confident.
see, they are not checking the genuineness of the answers.
Nobody is gonna go back and check your.
You said this or
Yeah.
you said that. The
Even
only
if
thing
you
is
say that you are the vice president of
your
you know,
college or
United Nations, then also they are not coming to.
I was limiting myself to
Yeah.
college or something. So maybe United
So
Nations.
you don't have to, just because they won't come behind you to check whether you are actually working there.
Here I I remember one of the idiom that is beating around the bush.
Yeah.
Do that. Why? Beating around the bush will give you extra time to speak on. You have to speak like really. I read somewhere in an article that
Yeah.
this is the time when you are in speakiness that you have to boast, matlab, showcase on your speaking skills. Now literally you have to do that. Examiner asks one question, you give 3 answers. Don't.
Yeah.
But it has to be relevant, right? It can't be like beating around the bush in the neighborhood. It should be in your local side only.
Yeah, so the thing is that, okay, now coming to a few idioms which helped me a lot in scoring a band 7.5, and the same for
Me as
him.
well.
Yeah.
So what happened when we had our speaking test? We were talking to each other in the form of idioms. Like I was going around some very general and usual idioms which we use in our daily life. So when we incorporate them into our speaking, it really impacts. It has a big impact on the examiner. So I recommend using it, and these are the few idioms which we have noted for you.
Yeah, so the first one is over the moon. So it's like you have to be over the moon while attempting your speaking.
Right.
Because if you will be happy, so obviously the examiner will also feel good. And I'll share my experience when I scored 7.5, that there was a female examiner. So wherever I was falling short of words, she was even helping me out just to fill that part, because whatever I was speaking, she was able to really relate to. It was on farmers, it was on droughts. So she was like very nice. She tried to fill that gap which I was leaving. So this is how sometimes the examiner also helps you out.
And here I like to share my experience. I was giving the IELTS speaking in my hometown Patiala, and what happened? The examiner didn't even bother to ask me, shall we start the exam?
Yawning.
He was yawning, and
I
it was
know.
about 2:30. I understand, they are tired of listening to all this, but hey man, you are an examiner. You have to look eye to eye. And he was just on looking at the paper, and he was, okay, tell me something about yourself. Tell me this, tell me that. And I raised a complaint on that, because
Yeah.
how are you going to respond to a question when the examiner or the person sitting next to you is not even looking at you? He's not even interested in having a conversation with you.
Yeah, so guys, if something like that happens, please, there is one complaint form which you can get from those people as soon as you come out of your speaking
So those
exam.
invigilators have those
Yeah.
form, and make sure you fill it. You file that complaint
Yeah.
in that hotel or wherever the exam is happening. If you
Yeah.
go out and you say that I'll call the customer care, I'll send them an email, they won't entertain it. You have to file
Yeah.
the complaint right there.
So there will be a proper inquiry, which happened in Gurdeep's case, and he got a genuine bans, right?
Yeah, it went in favor. And they told me that if the examiners or the one who are reviewing my case, if they find there's something wrong with it, you have to reappear for the speaking. I said
Yeah.
that's fine. I don't have any problem, but at least give one examiner who is at least interested in having that conversation, because
Right.
IELTS. They want you to test your speaking skills. They don't have a laptop, they don't have a computer or a machine sitting next to you where you record your voice. They have a person there because it is going to be a very general form of conversation they want to judge. Ki, first is going to be introduction, how you react to when a person face to face talks to each other. So that is the reason why there's a person sitting next to you in the speaking, not a robot or a recorded message saying questions to you,
Yeah.
right?
That
So let's
was
go
wrong.
back. So let's go back. Sorry for the time. Let's go back to the idioms quickly. So
Yeah.
number 1 was over the moon. Second,
Yeah. Second one is to cost an arm and a leg.
third,
Suppose
No
You
thanks.
buy a diamond necklace to me, so it will cost you an arm and a leg.
It'll cost me 2 arms and 2 legs.
Okay, jokes apart, the third one is kid in a candy store. Yeah. So next one is piece of cake. This you can use in your work aspect. Yeah. So next one is hot potato. Hot potato means a very controversial topic. And then it is at the drop of a hat, like too quick. Then it will be best of both worlds. Yeah, so it is like if I am having a diamond necklace as well as a Ferrari. So it will be best of both worlds. So, okay, so third one is burning the midnight oil. So that is like when you are working day and night to, study or something. And then it is under the weather. Under the weather is when you feel a little sick. So how many will be?
That's okay. Whatever you noted.
Okay,
These
so-
are all general idioms.
Yeah.
We haven't counted it and we
Yeah.
haven't scripted
And
it. That
most important,
Yeah.
once in a blue moon.
Once in a blue
Don't
moon.
forget to use that.
Once in a blue moon, I visit
Yeah.
there or I do this activity.
So that is it. Like all these are a few important idioms which can help you to score a 7 and above band.
And hey, I say, why not idiom? Why not only idioms? Use phrases as well. Use some important phrases which you have heard. Use into your conversation, and you'll definitely, get a good output.
Yeah, and don't try to get into a very hi-fi vocabulary. I'll mention this again. I have mentioned this in my previous video as well. So don't try to grab any vocabulary. Don't mug it up. Be calm, be composed, and learn a few idioms and try incorporating it in your speaking, and you are good to go.
And speak more than the examiner.
Yeah.
Don't cram your answers. Never ever cram your answers.
And
They'll
don't
spot
be
it.
brief.
Yeah.
You don't have to answer yes or no. That is a very big no-no part.
Alright, so this was us talking about IELTS in
So much about speaking.
IELTS speaking. We'll come back
Yeah.
with some more topics on
Yeah, and
IELTS.
if you have any queries or questions, you can comment below.
And guys, so we don't write a complete script. We just share our experience which we have faced.
Yeah,
They,
and we'll keep on doing that.
yeah, and let us know how you find our video.
Yeah, so okay, and
Thank
in the
you.
next video, let's see, we'll talk about the listening and reading, and after that, we'll be talking about WES. Yeah,
What about writing?
Writing is already done in the previous video.
No, we have to make a separate
anyways,
video on
yeah,
writing as
anyways,
well.
we'll be making a separate video on that, and that is it.
Alright, guys. See you. Bye bye.
Yeah, bye bye.